Well, in today's video, I'm going to talk about the case of Jeffrey Epstein and Epstein files. And I'm sure all of you must have heard about this case in recent days, especially after 19th of December on social media or through news channels, maybe not news channels actually, because not so many news handles or media handles were showing this case actually, but on social media, especially Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, on these platforms, all of you must have heard about this case. So before I start, I just want to give you a little bit of idea what exactly happened in this case. So a guy named Jeffrey Epstein bought an island, and on that island they were sexually harassing, assaulting minor girls, and most of the girls who went there, actually who were kind of forcefully, or maybe I would say they were forcefully taken there, or I'm not getting the exact word which I should say here, but kind of they were made fool to go there. They had, like, the people who took them there, they made the fake promises to the girls. So a lot of weird things, a lot of illegal things happened on those on that island basically. And today, let's start this case, the story of this case, where it all started from. So let's jump into the story. So whatever happened in this case all started from one guy whose name was Jeffrey Epstein, and he was born in Brooklyn in 1953. He was born in, like, in a middle class family. His father was a gardener, his mother just was a not even a teacher actually, she was just working in school. So yeah, like very normal family. But Jeffrey Epstein, he was really good at maths, and because of that reason, when he was only 21 years old, he didn't even finish his exams properly, I would say. He skipped two classes in his school because he was too good at math, like naturally. So at the age of 21, he started teaching maths and physics at Dalton High School, and he was a quite young teacher, only 21-year-old. So he was, even at that time, he was kind of involved with younger girls, the girls who were his students basically in the school. So he was kind of involved with them, and he was seen at the parties of the kids, of the school kids, and illegal drinking was also kind of involved in those parties. And well, because of his, the way he was actually in the school, and his teaching performance wasn't as good as he was good at math, so the performance was extremely poor. So because of these reasons, he was kind of, he lost his job at the school. But while he was a teacher there, he impressed the parents of his one student, and that parent, he offered Jeffrey Epstein a job in his company, which was a kind of a huge company. Well, the father of his student, who was very impressed by Jeffrey Epstein, his name was Alan Greenberg, and he was the CEO of a company called Bear Stearns. That company was kind of managing the finances and doing some trading for the investors. So Jeffrey Epstein was good at math, so because of his skills, he did really good in that company. And only within few years, only actually in 4 years, 4 years is a very small period of time. Within 4 years, he became a team member. He became a limited partner, actually, not just a team member. Team member, he was in the start, but he became the limited partner in the company. And after 1 year, in August 1981, he opened his own company, Intercontinental Assets Group. That was the name of Jeffrey Epstein's firm, and In that company, they were managing the finances for very rich people, and one of the very famous names who was managed by Jeffrey Epstein was Leslie Wexner. Leslie Wexner was the CEO of Victoria's Secret, which is a really famous brand all around the world, actually. So he was managing the finances, doing really good in banking sector, in trading, and because of these things, because of the things he was doing, he got connections. He was kind of staying around rich people, billionaires, millionaires all around the world, people like Donald Trump, Bill Clinton. And during this time, he earned a lot. His net worth was in hundreds of millions because of the things he was doing. And well, after doing all that, in 1998, he bought an island which was called St. Little James Island, and later it got famous by the name of Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein Island. And on that island, I told you in the video, in the start of the video, on that island, lot of illegal, lot of weird, and lot of sexual harassments, lot of illegal things, lot of things which are not really good, not good at all actually. Those things were happening at that island and managed by Jeffrey Epstein, organized by Jeffrey Epstein. He was organizing the parties, and minor girls were there to provide the service to the people. Most of the girls were, not most, I would say all of the girls were under 18. They were taken there by lying to them. Well, till year 2005, no one, not the common people basically, not people like you and me or media houses, no one knew what exactly was happening at the island. That island was beautiful. It had a lot of mansions, a lot of luxury apartments for the guests, and people were traveling there by private jet called Lolita Express, and Jeffrey Epstein owned that private jet as well. So a lot of things were happening during that time. But in 2005, in especially I think in March 2005, one 14-year-old girl and her parents, they went to the Palm Beach police in Florida. That 14-year-old girl and her parents, they lodged a complaint against Jeffrey Epstein. And in her complaint, she mentioned that her friend, her classmate, asked her that if she gives a massage to a really rich guy, just the massage, she will get $200 to $300 for doing that. So that girl thought, okay, fine, it's just a massage, I'll do that. So she went to Jeffrey Epstein's house, and there she met Jeffrey Epstein. He was just wearing a towel. He asked her to take off her clothes, and that girl was only 14. Just reminding you guys again that she was only 14-year-old. So she wasn't expecting all that. She just went there for a massage. And at that point, she started crying. But she couldn't do much about that because she was forced to do whatever Jeffrey Epstein was asking her. So she did whatever was asked, and as soon as she could leave from there, she went to her parents, told them everything, and lodged a complaint. So police, they talked to that girl who asked her to do that, basically, who told her to go to Jeffrey Epstein's house. So that girl told two other names. She told to the police like, those girls, those two other girls asked me to do that, and I ask her, and if she wants more money, then if she asks another girls, so she'll get more money for that. So it was like a referral scheme, kind of pyramid scheme was going on. So those two girls, they gave two other names, two other girls, and those two girls gave the names of other two girls. So by doing that, like that cycle of two girls, two girls, two girls referring each other for some extra money, doing all same thing, all of those girls were kind of told that they only have to do the massage there. So when police kind of digged into the matter, and they looked in that matter properly, they found out like 36 girls were involved in that, and all of those girls were told that they only need to do the massage just for 200 to $300, and they were used as a pyramid scheme. You know how the pyramid scheme works. If you refer the next person, you will get extra money for that. And that's how the girls were referring the next girl, the next girl, kept going on. And if that 14-year-old girl wouldn't have complained, it would be more. There would be more girls involved in this matter. In July 2006, Palm Beach police arrested Jeffrey Epstein, but unfortunately, he only paid $3,000 bond to get away with that. He easily got away with this thing, this whole matter. But FBI started their own investigation in the same month, in July 2006, because this case was becoming really big. A lot of minors were harmed. So in July 2006, FBI started the investigation. They named this operation, this whole investigation process for in Jeffrey Epstein's case, they named that Operation Leap Year. And when they kind of checked Jeffrey Epstein's house, when they went through properly, they found a lot of sexual toys. They found a lot of weird things at Jeffrey Epstein's house, and they found two hidden cameras as well. And at the same time, they found that at Jeffrey Epstein's island, lot of influential people, people like Michael Jackson, people like Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, and a lot of other big people, like famous people, people who are known worldwide. They went to the Epstein Island. They went to the Little St. James Island. The island was known as, at that point, at that time, the island was known as Pedophile Island. There's a rumor, I'm not too sure if it's true or not, but one girl, she tried to run from that island by swimming because there wasn't any other way. So she decided to swim, but she was caught. And the people who were there, especially Jeffrey Epstein and his associates, who were kind of managing the whole party thing and stuff at the island, they took her passport and she was caught. But anyway, so FBI started the Operation Leap Year. They found a lot of things at Jeffrey Epstein's house, and they kind of made a charge sheet of 53 pages. The case against Jeffrey Epstein was really strong. Police had a lot of proofs, a lot of proof against Jeffrey Epstein. The case was really strong. But federal prosecutor Alexander Acosta, he kind of made a secret deal, or I would say an arrangement with Jeffrey Epstein's lawyers. And that meeting, or I would say that agreement, was specially made to save Jeffrey Epstein. So They did a deal. Alexander Acosta, he was the federal prosecutor. He was attorney in Florida at that time. So he made an agreement, and according to that agreement, Jeffrey Epstein, he kind of needed to plead guilty in just two small cases, like just two small charges, and if he pleads guilty in those ones, then there wouldn't be any other case or any other complaint against Jeffrey Epstein. So there was no case at all in other matters. The main matters, especially the matters who put Jeffrey Epstein in trouble later. And the worst thing was that all the victims in that case, all the girls who were sexually harassed, molested by Jeffrey Epstein, they had no idea. They didn't have any clue that whatever was going on at that time. And according to that deal, and because of that deal, Jeffrey Epstein got only 18 months prison time. He was in jail for only 18 months, but it wasn't properly 18 months actually. I tell you why, and I tell you how. So, out of those 18 months, he only stayed in prison for 13 months. He was released 5 months earlier, and in those 13 months, he could go out of the prison 6 days a week for 12 hours for his office work and stuff. So, during those 13 months, basically he just went there to sleep. He was out of the prison for 6 days and 12 hours at least every day. So, you don't call it a jail. So, he just easily got away with whatever he did. And after spending that time in prison, he was completely free. There wasn't any case on him because he pleaded guilty on those two charges. So, he was just living his life easy peasy. That's all. Not just that, his girlfriend or his companion, the person who was arranging the girls, not just from the US, but there are rumors that Ghislaine Maxwell, she was arranging the girls from other countries as well, from countries like Russia and Colombia and maybe some other South American countries as well. So she was with Jeffrey Epstein in this whole thing they started. And she was the one who was managing the girls basically. She was the one who was lying to the girls. She was the one who was saying to the girls, like, they'll get the opportunity. They just need to travel. They'll get to travel. They'll get good money just for the massage. And she knew that the girls were minors. Actually, she hired the minor girls for purpose. So, till that time, she had no complaint or no case against her at all. Jeffrey Epstein did have some cases, but he got away with that. But Ghislaine Maxwell, she had no complaints at all. So they both were doing their parties, organizing the parties. Influential people were still coming to their parties. Everything was going fine for them. But they had no idea that one journalist from Miami Herald, the person who kind of exposed this case to the world, Julie K. Brown, or I should say Julie Knipe Brown or Julie Nip Brown. I'm not too sure how to pronounce the middle word, so it's better I just say Julie K. Brown. She was the one who kind of brought this case in front of the world. They had no idea that this person, Julie K. Brown, the journalist, she was kind of working on this case very closely. She published her report in November 2018, and the report was called Perversion of Justice. And in that report, she kind of explained and talked about this case in very single detail. She did a brilliant job. She kind of exposed Jeffrey Epstein. And in 2019, the case, which became a cold case at one point, that case opened again. And this time, Jeffrey Epstein was arrested. He was sentenced for 45 years. But this time, he wasn't being treated the way he was treated back in 2006, 7, or 8 in the jail. This time, lot of weird things happened to him in the prison. He was found injured once on 23rd of July 2019. He was found injured and like almost dead. He was found on the floor in his cell. And his cellmates, they didn't have any idea what happened that night. They were like clueless. And on 10th of August, his body was found in the prison, in his cell. The night he died, the two cameras outside his cell, they stopped working. That night they had some fault in them, so they stopped working. But before that night, they were working perfectly fine, and no one had any idea what was wrong with the cameras. They were like just normal technical malfunction or something, and nothing was recorded that night. And that night he was by himself in the cell. So according to the Bureau of Prison and US Attorney General, he killed himself. He committed suicide. That was according to the US Attorney General and Bureau of Prison. But there were a lot of rumors because he had the information. There are rumors and there are conspiracy theories that he was killed by the influential people because he had a lot of information about the people, about the big people, like about a lot of billionaires, a lot of famous people. And according to Donald Trump, he said that he had information, some private information about Bill Clinton. So that's why Bill Clinton's supporters, they killed him. And during his kind of during the election period, Donald Trump said if he becomes the president and if he comes in the power, so he will expose everyone. He will bring this case into the public and he will kind of focus on this case very carefully, and he will bring this case, this Epstein files matter, whatever is in the Epstein files, whatever is there, he'll bring everything into the public and he will expose the people who are connected to that case. But after winning the elections, he was completely different. He started saying that this case, the Epstein files, the Jeffrey Epstein's case, is a boring case. It's a waste of time. Working on this case is a waste of time. That's what he started saying after winning the election in 2025 January. So people were not happy with him because they were like, they were expecting from him. So they were like, they started their own investigation, their own researches. And when they went to research about this matter, they found out, like a lot of people found out in their own researches, that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, they both were really close friends. In 1980s, they were very close. From 1980s to 2000, they were kind of seen together in a lot of parties, and they both liked each other, and they were seen together a lot of times, not just once. So the guy Alexander Acosta, the one who saved Jeffrey Epstein once in this whole case, he became Secretary of Labor in Donald Trump's government in the first one in 2019. And because of this case in 2019, like, cause he saved Jeffrey Epstein in that case, because of that reason he had to resign. In July 2019 he had to resign from his position. And Prince Andrew, his family, the royal family, took the title of prince from him. And any person in the world doesn't want to be involved in this case, in Epstein files case, because it's not good for the reputation. And well, after all this, after Donald Trump was saying that this is a boring case, this is a waste of time working on this case, a bill was passed in the parliament of US in November 2025. And according to that bill, all the documents related to that case should be public in 30 days, within 30 days. Well, on 19th of December 2025 and 23rd of December 2025, not all the documents, but a lot of documents were public. And according to those documents, the guy Donald Trump, who used to kind of aim at Bill Clinton, who was blaming Bill Clinton to be involved in this matter, Donald Trump's name was involved 600 times, almost 600 times in that matter, in that case. And not just that, he kind of traveled with Lolita Express, the private jet Jeffrey Epstein owned. He traveled with that plane around 8 times. And in one letter, he kind of mentioned that Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump, they both have some same sort of interests, and they both like younger women. Well, a lot of people who were involved in this case, like as I told you, Prince Andrew, he kind of, his title was taken by his own family, and mm, like a lot of people lost their reputation, but looks like Donald Trump, he wasn't affected at all. The things he's doing now looks like he is doing for purpose, maybe just to avoid and get away from this case. But the actor Jim Carrey, he gave a speech at the award show which showed how the things are going on at the moment, and looks like he's not affected at all. So anyway guys, and this was the case we discussed today. I hope you will like the video, and I'll see you next time in the third episode. Thank you.